Hey guys, this is Janet. I just wanted to give you a little update on myself, starting with the Fistula cutting seton update. So it's been almost a year and a half since my seton fell off. I had, I guess, my last procedure last April, so April 2019. I was just supposed to get a general cleaning, but because I had an open wound that wasn't healing, but with an MRI, it was found that I actually have a complicated horseshoe fistula. And so, hey guys, this is Janet. I just wanted to give you a little update on myself, starting with the Fistula cutting seton update. So it's been almost a year and a half since my seton fell off. I had, I guess, my last procedure last April, so April 2019, where I had some drain tubes put in. I was just supposed to get a general cleaning, but because I had an open wound that wasn't healing, but with an MRI, it was found that I actually have a complicated horseshoe fistula. And so for my operation, they put drain tubes in, 2 of them. They cleaned out the abscess that they found. I guess it was in this order. I guess they cleaned out the abscess that was found, which was like really deep by my tailbone. Placed some drain tubes in to drain out any more pus or whatever remaining, and then pretty much cleaned out my open wound area because I had a lot of dead tissue. I had that open wound for about 1 month before this operation, so yeah, it was gross for 1 month, and I had no idea what was going on, only to find out that I had a fistula that went right through it, so it was like getting infected every single day. But anyways, that was back in April, and so May, June, July, I had a total of 8 cutting seton tightening sessions. And so, I would go in, my seton would get tightened maybe 1 or 2 millimeters, and which was super, super painful. I mean, I think that session in the clinic is like the most painful, and then, it's painful afterwards, but it's not as bad as like the whole procedure to get it tightened. And even with local anesthesia, it's like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. But yeah, so it's been a year and a half since then, because it's mid-December now. So far, no issues, no complications. I checked the area, and I haven't had an abscess yet. Or what am I saying yet? I haven't had an abscess. I feel around that area, like pretty firmly, because my scar tissue is kind of hard, and so I feel around that area when I'm taking a shower, just to make sure I'm not feeling like an abscess, because you know how that feels, like it hurts. And so far, no issues. So I'm like super thankful for that. And that pretty much is my update. I guess the only thing that bothers me is my wound healed, but it's not regular skin. It's like the scar tissue and the skin. It's pretty, it's harder, and when you look at it, it looks like muscle fibers. It doesn't look like smooth skin, and so that is kind of what bothers me the most, but not just like the physical aspect of it. I think the skin around, that scar is pretty sensitive, like where it matches into my regular skin. I feel like it tugs on it, and so that's a little uncomfortable. And I still try to eat a little bit I still eat healthy. It's not as what I was doing while I was going through, the whole fistula journey with healing and stuff like that. But I still eat quite a bit of fruit and vegetables, but sometimes I do get hard stools, or I found that the tissue paper, like the toilet paper, I think I'm more susceptible to tears. Like, it wasn't like that before, but I just feel like now I'm more susceptible to tears, which really freak me out, because I just feel like that could turn into a fistula. And so just trying to be more careful of that now. I think I'm gonna just migrate into, well, at home I have a bidet, but right now I'm not working at home. I'm kind of in a temporary location, and so I think I might just wash in the shower if I can, or wet the toilet paper, because I'm feeling myself getting tears more often than not, and so that's what really makes me paranoid actually. So that is my biggest issue right now, but other than that, I'm pretty good. And so, if you're going through this journey as well, don't give up. Continue going to your tightening sessions, even though they're like super painful. I mean, I think it's worth it, because once you're done with the session, you heal up and you don't have to worry about it. At least so far for me, it's been 1.5 years. If I think back to what I've gone through, the type of wound I had, the skin infection, just like all the sessions, having to go to the hospital like every 2-3 weeks, and just like having pain every 2 to 3 weeks, but like having to maintain my body constantly 24/7 for like months. Like my original session operation is February, March, April, May, June, July. So that was like 5 months of daily having to freaking take care of my open wound and stuff. I still can't believe I went through it. I still can't believe I had that type of skin infection to the point where my skin was so swollen and purple in, private area, and freaking like an inch thicker lower than my regular skin. Looking back on it, I can't believe I went through it, but the positive thing, the light at the end of the tunnel is you will get better and you will heal, and things aren't back to 100%, but they're pretty close. Like I didn't lose any muscle movement. I guess I don't think it's 100%, but it's pretty close, like 90, I guess. But the fear is you're cutting through muscle, so you may just have total incontinence, which I don't have, so I'm super thankful. And I haven't had an abscess issue yet, so it's good. I hope I never get it again, but who knows? Hopefully my success rate is 100% and I just never get it. But that's my update for you for now. If anything comes along, I will provide another update. Now this channel was supposed to be more of like my travel channel, which is pretty amateur, but it's just something I want to document because videos capture a lot more than pictures do, and truthfully it's a little hard putting it together. But since we're not able to travel now because of COVID, or not be able to do it as freely and openly, like carefree, I guess, I'm gonna change this more to like a life update channel, just so it's really more for myself, because I used to pride myself about my memory. I had pretty good memory, but these days it's just going downhill. And so I just want to capture my life moments for myself. So far, the updates I've had is I've gotten married in the last year. I got married on paper last December, so it's almost 1 year from being legally married. And then I switched jobs. I quit my job February 2020, trying to, I guess in the hopes of getting married and being prepared for it, because I had an April ceremony scheduled. And also I want to take a break, because so far with all of my career or job changes, I've jumped from old job on a Friday to new job on a Monday. So I've never really had a break. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to relax and maybe go somewhere for a couple weeks and then come back and do wedding planning, stuff like that. But with COVID happening, I ended up just staying home. And in the beginning, it was like a huge unknown. I didn't even know. You hear about coronavirus, but didn't really know what it was. You just hear that people are getting sick and dying, and it's like highly infectious. And so we stayed put, stayed home. And then from there, I had like marriage issues, actually. We fought a lot. But, it's because we're like two different people, and you hear it all the time, right? Like, we have different habits. And I think for me, it went from seeing my husband, we were dating, and it was like long distance, seeing each other on the weekends only, to being with each other 24/7. That was like a humongous change. And I mean, he's a good guy. He's really great. But and he's nice, but there were just some certain habits that I was not okay with. And when you're like just in that moment, you're just focused on the negative stuff all the time. And so we ended up having to get some counseling, work on like certain communication skills, because we're all adults and professionals, but when it came to handling conflict, there's like a better way to do it, and we just, when emotions get high and stuff, you just lose it. So it kind of helped us come back together to the right way of living with each other, and recognizing our differences and how we both are, etc. So yeah, there was that. And then I was so bored during this time just doing housework, and that made me actually realize I cannot just be a housewife. That's actually what I wanted to be a long time ago, just be home, have children, etc. But even like that 2 months of just constantly cooking and cleaning and that repetitive, like I just couldn't do it. And so I was bored. I reached out to my old coworkers about a job. I told them I'm available if anything comes up, and I was able to sign on with their company. And I really like it because it's a smaller company and they're more people-based. So far I've worked for the government, which was great, and then private firms, which was, it gave me experiences, but truthfully they're not like the greatest to their employees. You're just there working. And so I really like this field. It's more like family. This is kind of what I've been looking for. Whether you're new hire or old hire, they will, look out for your best interest. So, and they want you to succeed, and they ask you what your future plans are. Like there is a plan for you to move up and do better. So anyways, I usually, with my background, I do construction management, civil engineering type of work. And I'm actually considered an essential worker because construction is essential. Like we're maintaining infrastructure, etc. But anyway, so I was doing a lot of project management work, writing proposals to get on new projects, etc. And this opportunity came up to work in the Bay Area. So I got accepted for that, and now I'm here in the Bay Area. And so now went from seeing my husband 24/7 to only seeing him on the weekends, but it's probably going to be every other week now because I even with coronavirus, I was flying just because, if you book in advance, you're able to get like tickets on Southwest for like $59 one way. It was pretty affordable. My work covers for it, and that's good, but we're Asian. We just try to find the best deals. I was doing that, but with the COVID cases getting super high, like I decided I'm not gonna fly anymore. I was taking precautions then, like wearing a 95 mask. The very little that we had, I like salvaged it. Pretty much, I only had 2, and I actually reused it because it's only a 1-hour flight, and then I would kind of sanitize it and put it in the sun and stuff like that. So I just felt better about wearing an N95 mask on the plane. And then I carried like wipes with me, wiped everything down. Like I always put the sanitizer on and stuff like that. But just because the cases are so high, and this is like an airborne disease, that I don't want to risk it anymore. So now I'm gonna be driving, and the drive is pretty long. It's like 7 hours, and so I'm probably only gonna go down twice a month. If my husband comes up, then he comes up. But yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like now. I have to be, it's encouraged for me to be working in the office. So right now I'm still going into the office. I have my mask on all the time. I pretty much have it on from the time I come in, which ranges between 7:30 and 8:30 to the time I leave, 5 p.m. And I live pretty close to work right now, so I've been taking my lunches at home. And so yeah, I used to take my mask off and drink water and stuff, but I'm at the point now where I'm just like not even doing that. I just drink water when I, before I leave the house, when I come home for lunch, and then when I come home after work. So, it's not the best scenario, but that's kind of just what I feel safest with, because not everyone has to wear a mask when they're around, walking around common areas, but when they're in their cubicles, some people don't wear the mask, and I just don't even want to risk it, So yeah, that's my life update. And my channel will, I guess, migrate if I have some travel videos up of like the last year. We actually did a couple road trips even with COVID, and maybe that would have been useful to some people if you wanted to do that, 6 months ago. But maybe I'll put some of those up. But this is pretty much going to be my life update because I just want to have videos to capture things, since, like I said, I have a pretty bad memory now. All right, stay safe, everyone, and hopefully with the vaccine, things will go back to normal, even though I actually do prefer less traffic and hopefully less environmental impacts. But it was kind of nice to slow down and just kind of relax, like take a break a little bit from being so fast-paced in life. And so I did enjoy that. And staying at home, I'm an introvert, so I didn't really mind it too much. The only thing I wish I could do more of is hang out with people, like my friends and family, without fear of catching coronavirus. Like, I'm okay wearing the masks, I'm okay having restrictions, even though it is detrimental. I wish there was like a better way to help the businesses. The government should be giving more stimulus to businesses instead of rich individuals. But there's a lot of people who, there's a lot of people who abuse the system. But trying my best to support local businesses and, I guess, help the environment. I'm being more environmentally conscious. So I'm trying to use less plastic, using more sustainable items. I'm actually going to stop shopping from now on too. Like, I pretty much have everything I need. I bought a lot actually during the shutdowns, but that was because I needed better clothes for work. I'm trying to have like a less emissions, like environmental footprint. And trying to just do a little bit more, even if it's a little more uncomfortable, because really, we could do more for the environment. But anyways, that's a life update. Even if we can't hang out with others, I hope you enjoy your holidays. If you are going through this whole season, I can't even imagine with coronavirus. Please stay safe and take care of yourselves and don't lose hope. All right, thank you. Bye. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention, I still have a lot of gauze. I think I have over 100, maybe between 100 and 200. I had like those big hospital packs like this. If you are in need of gauze, I will mail it to you. Please message me. All right, stay safe. Bye.